Hello my 7 deadly sins family and friends, welcome back to another video. Now I know these videos don't get a lot of traction and it doesn't get great views, but it's got me very excited for the future, and I have been given some information to give you a sneak preview that's official from Netmarble of Barn. So before we get to that, let's try and quickly run through the dev notes, which is actually quite cool. But basically they start off saying that big milestone, half-year anniversary. They want to basically continue with good events and content across 2.0 and 2.1, but their main focus is to help newer players and those that have recently started with their growth to get to the top gear and the later game stuff a lot easier, because even the lower difficulties of the raids, for example, people are still struggling because they're not getting the gear that helps them allow to be clear the abyss level, right? So what they're doing, they're going to add a hard mode to the raid, and then they're also going to allow the hell difficulty to get the gear, but it's going to be a 120 raid. Like you know how in abyss it can be like 130 up to it'll be 130 base, and then when you use pledges it'll be 140 to 160 depending on the pledges that you complete. Well, now base equipment you can get on the hell difficulty be 120, so you can still get those set bonuses to get stronger to be able to complete the later game sectors and the later game raids, which would be quite nice. They have also talked about this new equipment growth expansion. Basically it's people need ways to get stronger, so engraved equipment can get to +5 really easily, but now with this new system there's going to be 3 extra unlocks on top of the +5, and it is going to be chance based, but it says if an unlock attempt fails, the growth materials used are consumed, but they plan to let you repeatedly attempt to unlock without additional penalty. Whether this means that the materials you won't have to be used again, or if it's similar to for example the scissors, where you got the level 1, level 2 and level 3. Say you get to the level 2 and then you fail to get to level 3 of this new system, the 3 unlocks, you won't get punished. You won't get sent back to level 1, for example. So if you do get an upgrade but then later attempts fail, you won't be reduced. You'll always be stuck at that level at least. So we'll have to see how that is. I probably think it's the latter, where you won't go down on this chance-based thing to increase and grow and get stronger of these 3 extra unlocks, but yes, we will have to see. I've come up with a bit of a concept of how this could work. Again, it could be like completely wrong, but you obviously have these 3 upgrades that they've talked about, and whether or not it will just give us like increased stats of our engraving bonus, because we only get 3, right? So it could say, okay, on the first star you've got normal skill damage increase, now that's bumped up by an extra 5% or whatever. It could be that, I don't know, but as a fun little concept I thought, okay, each upgrade will showcase with a purple star, and it allows us to get an extra bonus stat. Like we can get crit chance, or now because it's a darkness character, get darkness damage or darkness attack. So a fun little idea. The way this will work, they'll be using newly added growth materials, probably in the new area from the story, and as well as like higher boss challenge difficulties. So they also go on to talk about what they're calling the maze, and to me it kind of sounds like a roguelite in a sense, where you have certain choices and then you can select different characters along the way, and to complete this event in a sense to get rewards. So here it's basically saying that you can progress through the content using the heroes that you own, and you can then advance through the maze making the choices of hero placements according to various randomly appearing conditions. So I think it's going to be some sort of roguelite where we have different choices and completed different tasks basically, which sounds very, very fun. And when we first made that video of feedback, a labyrinth I thought was put forward, so it's really cool that they're going to put something very similar into this. And at the end of it we're going to get some sort of exchange currency. We get an exchange shop. It will not only offer the growth materials used for the Transcendence Refinement, that's the extra 3 unlocks, but also some of the potential points for your heroes. So for standard banner characters, we'll be having ways to get their potential points. Now, it probably will be like 1 or 2 max of a count. You probably won't be able to buy it over and over and over. This is just assumptions, right? But still really, really cool. I know there's a bit of like AI slop here, but I fell asleep. I didn't have time to actually create what I had in mind, so it's the best I've got. But this could kind of be what the labyrinth is like, so the maze is like. We have different options to have different fights, and there'll be bosses to get currency for the exchange shop. So pretty cool, potentially. Now, us later game fellows are finding it very, very easy with the Abyss difficulty, so they're going to be adding a Transcendence difficulty. So this new Transcendence difficulty is going to basically be the new way to farm, and probably going to be the best one to do the time attack rankings. I'm guessing what they're going to do is basically, instead of having to like slog through for like the Golem, Guardian, or got Abyss, right? How we've been doing it. This is like all the corridors and whatnot. We're just going to basically spawn at the boss, and then it's not going to affect the previous ones where you can get chests and whatnot, but it's going to be really, really good for farming and for the leaderboards, and that's what kind of seems like for this Transcendence difficulty. They have spoke about reruns, right? They're basically going to do it on a vote basis, which I don't think is that great, to be honest. It'll be so much better if they basically had like an all-in-one banner, and then you just selected which one you would want to be on the like 50-50 wins, kind of like what we have in limited banners. It's just that selected character that they chose, but we choose it instead. But that's by the by. For me, if I was free to play or someone who's just recently started, if I was going to vote, I would probably vote for Elizabeth or Merlin, right? Because we get Meliodas, we're getting him for free, and he's really, really strong. But how insane Elizabeth is, even at the lower potentials, P5 and P6, it's just like a game changer for your account. So if it was me, aim for Elizabeth or Merlin. The others don't matter too much, like Daisy can be replaced by Hauser, for example. Like Gotha, you can use... I know a lot of people have been using Gotha lately, but he's not the be all end all, and like a lot of his kit is kind of wasted, especially if you don't have him at high potentials. So I would not suggest voting for Gotha whatsoever. And then obviously, as I said, I talked about Daisy, and then Escanor. We've already got kind of like a free rerun for him for the Act 13, and we know how bad he is. And we've just had Derriere. We don't need a Derriere right away as well. So if it was me, I hope I didn't miss anyone. Oh, Clotho. Again, she's only really needed for the Ice team, so I wouldn't vote for Clotho either. I vote for Elizabeth or Merlin, because Merlin obviously outshines Meliodas in a lot of ways, and she's got like basically every single one of her kits is useful in the certain team strikes. Obviously amazing ice DPS, amazing lightning DPS, and a really, really good fire support, right? So all of her stuff is useful. And then for Elizabeth, just her holy in general is probably one of the most broken supports, probably won't be replaced probably the next year or so, right? So if it was me, vote for one of those two. They're gonna have this rerun voting about around 2.0. I'm not sure when it's going to be. Hopefully it'll be soon, but it says that they plan to introduce the first rerun packet through the following update following version 2, and then what they might do is, like, say Elizabeth got the highest votes and then Merlin got the second. It might be that the first rerun will be Elizabeth and then the second rerun will be Merlin, for example. We'll have to see, but it'll be very soon, basically. And it says a total of 6 heroes that you can vote from. We're all getting a free Meliodas, so if you have him or not, we're going to get a free one. If you have him at P10, we're going to get 180 Star Trace Crystalloids. Those are the orange exchange currency, which is going to be fantastic. So if you've got a P10 Meliodas and you're really excited for Barn coming, right, you can basically get a free dupe of him after you pulled him, which is really, really cool. And then after that, they're basically saying that, well, here it is. After that, it literally says here, so from what I was saying earlier, in 2.1, that's when we're going to get the rerun after the vote. And then other than that, the Frozen Mine Raid will come as well. So for this first 3 weeks coming, we won't have the rerun of a rerun banner or a new raid, but that's going to come on the 2.1. I'm sure there'll be still a lot of stuff to do for the anniversary. We've got the story, for example. They basically have said that they're going to send us a gift to say like thanks, basically. So like, it's just half the anniversary stuff, right? So the small gift is basically you talk to a different 7 Deadly Sins hero and you obtain the prepared draw tickets. So after speaking to one of the heroes on the day, you'll get the prepared draw tickets. I'm not actually sure what this is. It doesn't say about anything more about it. That'll be very interesting to see what that is, because it's not the standard banner, right? And it's not the premium banner, because if we go to draw here, this one's called hero pickup and this is called the regular hero pickup draw, right? So it's not called prepared draw tickets. So that'll be very interesting. And even the skins, right? This is exclusive skins draw. So yeah, it's not even that. So it'll be interesting to see what the prepared draw tickets is. I don't have any information about that. And then basically every single day you have a chance to win up to 30,000 star fragments. Like, this is nuts. Even if you win it once, like, it'll be so good for you. So that's really cool. Really good stuff. But also Radiant Potion of Charm, Ingot Selection Box, Remnants of Rift, and another Lich Dragon weapon selection check, which is great. So that's all the news done. I've gone through it very quickly. Hopefully I've covered it in depth enough for you to know. But what I wanted to kind of showcase or talk about is Barn, right? So we've had a clip showed kind of teasing him, and like we already know that Barn is coming basically as well. But I wanted to give you a little extra, right? And I know there are leakers out there, which really infuriates me, right? Because obviously it's great for people to know earlier, but it is ruining it for some other people as well. But what I wanted to share is his weapons. And again, this is all guaranteed by Netmarble. So we've got his nunchuck. They're going to be physical. He's going to be a DPS with his nunchuck, as we all expected. He's a single target DPS, so it's not AoE. So single target DPS who attacks with consecutive fast strikes for big damage. So it's going to be probably similar to Derriere, where he's doing lots and lots of hits, but it's going to do a lot of damage. He has a specialty, which I'm guessing what this means is kind of like his passive in a way, and it says that he can absorb other elemental attack damage into boosting his own, which is very interesting. Now, how this will work, I am unsure, but it could mean that you could have a buffer for a darkness damage user, or but that might not be classed as elemental. But say you've got a buffer for a fire damage user or a lightning damage user from a different support, he might be able to use that to boost himself instead. So that could be really cool how that actually plays out. Again, that's just an assumption, a speculation of how it could be. All it says is that he can absorb other elemental attack damage into boosting his own damage. Now, his next weapon will be a greatsword. This is another DPS role, but it's Earth DPS. Now, I pray and hope that this is going to be a special attack, kind of user similar to Diane, because of this Lich Dragon set that we've got. Because at the moment, Diane's the only one who can use it. But let's have a quick look at what I've been told about this Greatsword Earth. It's an aggressive Earth elemental attacker who has the ability to restore his own health during combat. Now, this plays on the fact that he's undead Barn, so that's kind of cool. Maybe it's going to be not like massive damage, but it could be similar to how Meliodas' dual swords are. It can do really good damage, but not like massive nuking, but you have that sustain. And then I've been told that using his ultimate move empowers him for a short time, greatly reducing his skill cooldowns. Now, what would be nuts is if it is a special attack damage dealer, right? And he uses ultimate, and then he could just spam his special attack over and over, and it just does a ton of damage because he's using this Lich Dragon weapon. I really pray and hope that's the case, because that would be super cool. And then of course he's going to have gauntlets. I think we all expected him to have gauntlets. And this is going to be a dark burst specialist. Now this is very strange, because really we've just seen normal elemental burst specialists. I know we do have the physical one of Slater, but that's an awkward one as well. But how this will work, he is a dark element burst specialist with a debuff that decreases enemy burst resistance for all elements, which is very interesting to see. It can pause the remaining duration of darkness burst to keep its duration going even longer as well. So similar to how Diary can like extend it, and also with the dual swords Meliodas, you can use a skill and it like extends it. Instead of this one, it's going to pause the remaining duration. So if it's going to be about to run out, you can pause it, or you burst with him, and then he can pause it. You can go into Meliodas, just do a ton of nuking, and it won't reduce as much, because of course it will reduce partially, because that's what his skill does. But the ticking down won't make it go away as fast. So you could potentially get an extra E combo with it, right? Which could be really cool. But yeah, that's what I've got of the bar knowledge. What we've had in the past, like engraving wise, what might happen is his earth engrave will be missed, and we'll have like the physical one, of course, and then the darkness one. We'll have to see. It'll be really cool if we had them all, but I don't think that's going to happen, because they're always missing one, and then the next update, big update, kind of comes, right? So yeah, really cool stuff. Really exciting stuff to come. Some really fun stuff. It sounds like that we're gonna be able to enjoy, and then obviously a lot of really nice rewards as well. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this, guys, and I hope you are too. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and consider leaving me a like and a subscribe. I will be releasing a video tomorrow about the new sector, so be sure to look out for that. And until then, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and cheerio!